Thank you very much, Mr. Robin, for that beautiful introduction. Our actions and reactions are equal and opposite. But what about our inaction? Those are words of my late dad. God rest his soul. He passed just recently, about 3 weeks ago, 6th of this month. So it's been a hard time for us. Thank you very much. But his legacy lives on. His teachings, his sets of values, moral ethics. Our actions and reactions are equal and opposite. We all know the famous scientist, Isaac Newton. That's his third law of motion. But my dad would ask, what about our inaction? And he would respond, our inactions, just like our actions, also have equal and opposite reaction. Because choosing to act or not to act are both causes to an effect. We all know the law of cause and effect. I remember some time ago, I think that was about 2016, because in Nigeria we have what we call the National Youth Service Corps. After your university, you're supposed to do some social service or military training. And I was away from home in a faraway land, serving my motherland at the time. And my mom called me on a particular day while I was in a meeting. I couldn't take the call. But after the meeting, I realized she had given me about 17 missed calls. I wondered, why would my mom be calling me that much, that hour of the day? That was quite early in the morning. So I quickly called her back. I called her Mommy Correct. I said, hello, Mommy Correct. I hope everything is okay. And then she sounded with a down tone. She said, Canon, my son, all is not well. Worried. I said, Mommy, what's wrong? Speak to me. She said, it's Ahoy. Ahoy had been sick for the past 3 days. The doctors had come to the house to administer all the right medications, but still there's no improvement. Still the situation keeps deteriorating. As a competent communicator, I was quick to interrupt. I said, no, Mommy, you can't be crying. Speak to me. What's happening? She said, no, Ahoy is dying. As I tried to raise the head up right now, he quickly dropped back to the ground in response to gravity. He's lying parallel on the ground. I can see you're inquisitive. You want to know who Ahoy is. Ladies and gentlemen, Ahoy was our 50 kg Neapolitan Mastiff dog. Some might feel, oh well, it's an animal. Ahoy had lived with us for practically 10 years. He was like a brother to me. He was literally part of the family. My mom said, no, the doctor has given him all the right medication. He's still dying. Ahoy is dying. Ladies and gentlemen, that day, Ahoy died. Thank you. Hard time for the family, sad time for the family. Ahoy was such a beautiful dog. You barely find dogs that can understand, that can communicate. When you tell Ahoy, dance, he quickly bends his back leg and shakes the tail. Interesting dog. So when Ahoy passed on, it broke my heart. I was thinking I was strong and I could motivate my mom, I could talk her out of crying, but I cried too. But to immortalize Ahoy, we had to get an expert in skinning dog, because there's something they do in Africa where they cut out animal skin like leopard and tigers and dogs, and you can put it on the wall like a wallpaper for the memory. So he came, in no time he was slicing and dicing and trying to get the skin out carefully. And there was a shocking revelation. What we found was heartbreaking, heart-wrenching, and saddening. A tiny intestine that should be like the size of a straw was swollen like the size of an egg. Inquisitively, we had him cut it open. Lo and behold, it was a plastic bottle cover. Ahoy had swallowed a plastic bottle cover, and it got stuck in his intestine. But just like Ahoy, loads of animals, thousands, millions are dying on a daily basis because of plastic ingestion. We have colonies of majestic seabeds declining in numbers because of plastic ingestion. We have beaches, islands, lakes filled with plastics. We have children. There's a picture I saw, I think, on a certain documentary. You see children swimming in lakes filled with plastics. But what fascinates me the most is a study carried out by the Marine Conservation Agents that a whopping 7% of all the waste found in our homes don't just come found in the ocean. 7% of all the waste found in the ocean don't just come from our homes, but from our toilets. Yes, Marine Conservation Agents. The research shows that. Who flushes it? You and I. Our wipes, our tampons. But not anymore. I want you all to repeat and reiterate that with me. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
I want it even louder because I want it to sink in our heads. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Thank you very much. Because the change we seek in our world begins with us. You and I. If not you, then who? Those were the words of Mahatma Gandhi. Michael Jackson also sang it and reiterated it with a song. He said, you need to start with the man in the mirror. I want us to commit to not flushing 4 P's down our toilet, but 3. We need to take out plastic and stick with paper, pee, and poo. I want us to commit to properly disposing and managing our waste. That day Ahoy died, it activated a higher part of me. And I realized that I can't keep watching people get hot the way I got hot. And so I founded Clean Cyclers. Then it was a plastic recycling company to recycle plastics and ensure that the plastic waste that makes it to the ocean is recycled to keep the circular economy going. Then we moved from plastic to aluminum to paper. And growing up with my dad as a medical doctor, a veterinary doctor, and an agriculturist. As a veterinary doctor, he loved animals. So there were always loads of animals in our house. As an agriculturist, he loved trees. So I learned how to plant trees. I remember on a particular day driving down a certain bridge in the city of Port Harcourt in Nigeria. I saw them cutting down a particular tree. I was pained. It wasn't my business. But as a concerned citizen, as a concerned individual, I rushed down. I said, hell no. Why are you guys cutting the tree? They almost beat me up. Yes. But then I seized the opportunity to talk to them about the importance of trees. And they said, well, it wasn't their fault. It was their boss that asked them to cut it because they wanted to put a billboard. And I wondered, a billboard for a tree? And there's something my dad would always tell us. He said, be the solution to a problem around you. Make sure you take it upon yourself as a lifetime assignment to fix a particular problem in your life. And somehow, that has always resonated with me. I realized that there's a lot of things to do. In fact, Every other day, I realize there's one thing or the other to do. So there's the plastic recycling, there's the tree planting, there's advocacy campaigns. We've done a lot of this with Clean Cyclers. We've set up several environment documentaries, which we are planning with Universal Peace Federation for the World Environment Day. We've set up a lot like Nowhere to Run by Leonardo DiCaprio, where we get a lot of people into a room. We've also gotten partnerships from cinemas in the past, where they give us their cinema room, and people come and watch and get oriented, get educated. We've set up clubs in schools, several schools, over 57 schools, where we go regularly to talk to children about these issues. And I realize that all of this comes under sustainability, where we care for people, planet, where we ensure that money is used as a tool for people and planet, because we know one of the major problems and challenges of the world today is that money is made by corporations, organizations at the expense of people and planet. And that brings us back to the question, who is going to protect our planet? If not you, then who? If not me, then who? If not now, then when? If not here, then where? Ladies and gentlemen, I want this question to keep resonating in our minds. I want us to keep pondering on this and realize that we all have a role to play, because the government is made up of people like you and I. The boards of corporations are made up of people like you and I. A lot of people hide behind these big boards and let the company perpetuate the act. But as an individual, realize that you and I have that power to make a change, because as an individual, I'm just like a drop of water. My effect and impact will just create a little ripple. But when we come together, our effect and impact would create a wave. And together, we would no longer be just like a drop of water, but we would form an ocean. Thank you very much. And back to you, Robin.